Oh my god, I'm blooming. What? Why did it? Okay. I was like, why the fuck? Wait, what? That's bullshit, and you know it, game. How did that even hit me? It didn't even do a fucking hit animation or anything like that. Whatever, man. Bro literally turned into Zajef. Shut up. How good are Neuvillette and Kazuha Weapons, actually? I think for both of them, it depends a lot. Because mainly, in Neuvillette's case, his signature gives him energy, and the best non-signature options do not, right? And so if you generate enough particles that you don't need the energy from the signature, it's not that insane of an upgrade. But if you don't, then it is a pretty nice one. Yeah, Prototype Amber generates energy, but Prototype Amber is not quite as good as, like, the Battle Pass, for example. Right? But, like, when you're comparing it to the Battle Pass weapon, right? If you can't take advantage of the energy you get, it's not a massive improvement, right? Like, it is an improvement, but not an incredibly major one. Right, so in teams where you're generating a lot of energy, like in Farina teams where you're generating a lot of hydroparticles, it doesn't necessarily do that much. For Kazuha, it's actually the opposite. His weapon does not give him energy, and his next best options do. And so if you're playing him in teams where you don't need the energy, then it's a nice increase. But teams that don't care about energy are few and far between. And because of that, usually, the amount that you have to sacrifice by not using him on Fav is barely enough that his signature is worth using. In most situations where Fav is good, the signature is still slightly better, assuming you can match your ER requirements to what they become when he's not on Fav. But is it worth pulling for? Fuck no. Definitely not. Right? If you're looking for a good support sword option, I'd say that in most situations, even if you don't have Nilo, he's just more useful to an account. Yeah, because Farina and Kuge can use it. Some teams don't use Kazuha's Burst because it's a DPS loss, like in Neuvillette teams. That is true. But the Fav particles are helping the rest of your team as well. I have a question. Is the new spear good for YaoYao, or should I just use Fav? The new spear just gives you energy on the wielder, right? So it's not great for YaoYao. Right, YaoYao wants to achieve two things. She wants to achieve the application that she can do, and enough healing to heal your team. Right? Her damage, even when built for full damage, is marginal at best. So it's not really a consideration. The thing is, because she heals so much, you don't need to build more healing, and you can sacrifice healing for other things, and so you can sacrifice better healing for more energy recharge to make sure that you're using your ult. And so a weapon that gives you energy doesn't do that much for her, right? The reason why you don't use Kitane on YaoYao, but you use it on a character like Toma, is because YaoYao just can't do anything. Well, what side is she going to build if she can build less ER? Nothing. Right? Or as a character like Toma, if you don't have to build ER, you can build more EM for your virgins. And that's a pretty big deal. But if you play her Bloom, usually if you're playing her in a Nilo team, you're playing her with Nahida, and you have enough particle generation anyways. You run ER Sands on Kazuha if you run Freedom's Horn? It depends on the team. In some teams, yes. I mean, ideally, you don't want to have to. You'd rather run EM Sands with high ER substats. But if that's not an option, then yeah, sometimes. Is there any viable Kaveh team? It depends on how much you stretch the definition of viable. Are there teams where Kaveh is technically in the team that are able to 36-star Abyss? Yeah, of course. Are there teams where Kaveh is doing a lot that are actually good compared to other teams? No, there are not. But as long as you're okay with that being the case, yeah, you can play Kaveh if you want. I hope you have fun.
Years of the sword. Time to shine. Yeah. Strike cloud convert. Force. Disappear.
Kaveh is dollar store or hyphen.
Here.
I mean, I don't know, because like at the dollar store, you still generally find things that are useful. No? Like, I don't know if that's an accurate description. I suck my balls. I don't have C6 Horizon or Xiao. What characters I use for my Xiao team? Please help, I'm gonna lament everywhere. I'm a pretty big fan of Nahida, Raiden, Xingqiu. If you don't have C6 Farazan for your Xiao team.
Worthless.
I have Farazan C6, Xianyun, and Farina. That makes me want Xiao. Please cure me. He's short, he's ugly, he's stupid, he's lamenting. Thoughts on the potential design on new Dendro characters? At the moment, we have an interesting baseline with supports like Nahida and Baiju. Does have an interesting main DPS units that are kind of falling into set archetypes. Python being Dendro and attacker. What do you want to see in terms of new kits to make Dendro more interesting? I think that they kind of shot themselves in the foot with Nahida and limited their design space a lot because there's now just not much of a point to basically any Dendro support that doesn't heat. And it kind of just is what it is. You can either just make Dendro supports that are meant for mono Dendro, right? That aren't meant to work like Nahida and to work in different types of teams. Or you can make more Dendro carries. I think that's kind of it. Nahida is very limiting in terms of her design.
More points.
Sweet. Okay, our next event involves a mysterious concoction called the Phase Potion.
Oh, that's something that Jami developed, right? If I remember correctly, he's a researcher from the Immortal
I gotta
Dosha.
say,
Didn't the Traveler participate in
mini
a bunch
games
of
that make
experiments to help
use
him with his
of the
thesis?
reaction system,
Yep. He's made some improvements since then, and he's
they're
waiting for someone to test
pog.
them out.
I like them. Okay, I think that the like fucking pinball event, whatever thing, I think it's actually good. I think that it's nice for there to be events that make use of Genshin's reaction system outside of straight up combat, because it helps the reaction system feel more like it's a part of the world. Right? And I like that. That's cool. It helps with the immersion in the world building, and I don't think there's a problem with having events like that, right? I just, also wish there was some cool combat events, which there won't be. So it is what it is. I heckin' love Genshin Impact. Can I get a balls from my fellow Genshin Impact lovers?
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Hot take,
Welcome to the
Chronicle
Adventurers Guild.
Wish on a weapon, at least the weapon banner version is worth it. Because if you add better versions of weapons, for example, Mistsplitter and Jade Cutter and Ride and Polearm later. Oh! It's worth it, because if they do something they're not gonna do, it would be better. Oh shit, you got me there.
Thank
You
you
got
for
me
completing
there.
today's commissions. Ad Astra.
Let me cope? No. No coping allowed in this stream. We face the harsh reality of things here. And we cry together. Doo-doo-doo.